Nothing like up close and personal on this Thursday. It is a very warm day, so I'm setting myself up on my deck because I just love it out here. So I'm going to start with, so this is my journal, my Rise and Rest journal, and every night, so there's a spot here at the bottom where you can put in what your diffuser blend is. And what I like about this, being an oiler, an avid oiler, is I can kind of look back and see how I slept, and I know that there's some oils that impact my sleep better than others. So last night we had Tangerine, which is the oil of spontaneity. We had Vetiver, which is the oil of centering and descent, and we had Petitgrain, which is the oil of ancestry. I slept great. I love doing kind of a combination. So the Vetiver is really grounding. It's really grounding, actually. It's almost like a syrup, the oil. And the smell of it is just, I love it. But it's one that I call my super sleep, like powerful sleep. Tangerine is very uplifting. Well, any citrus is, of course. And Petitgrain is known as, so it was introduced to us as the lavender for men. So not a lot of men like floral. I'm not really keen on super florals either. So I don't use lavender a lot. But it is nice during the day, especially with lemon and peppermint. So let's see. I'm going to use my Moonology, my original deck, and the Starseed Oracle. Okay, let's see what the message is for us today. I hope wherever you are, you're having a great day. And whatever you're meant to hear, it resonates with you somehow. I've got two that flipped over. Ooh, this is a good one. Right away, this is a good one. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So that's awesome. And ooh, step out of your comfort zone, which, let's be honest, doing these videos is kind of that. So that's the Moonology. So now I'm going to do the Starseed Oracle. There's a storm literally happening all around me, but not here, which is kind of cool, but the wind is starting to pick up, so. What is our message today for the Starseed Oracle? Oh, I've never had this one. This is awesome. You got the love. That's a beautiful card too. Okay, let's read, oh, boundaries. Nice. Okay, let's see what this one says. You got the love. 128. The Hadarians are believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love, who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they can find it hard to have boundaried, interdependent, healthy relationships because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love while in a separate body, to learn to love self first and then establish healthy relationships with others, to remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they truly do have all the love on their own. The message of this card is to review the ways The message of this card is to review the ways you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing a sense of yourself. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into relationships, particularly with those they feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which, and this could be any, like not just romantic relationships, Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive. Or perhaps there's a certain volatility to it and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is a sign to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you've made, consciously or unconsciously. To acknowledge if there are relationships in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel like it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe and cover up. So a journal prompt, do you lose yourself in relationships? If so, how? How can you develop a deeper love for yourself? So again, let's pull it back to us and our self-love and how we're feeling and how we want to feel. So that's very important. That is a great, super great card. And then the end of a tough cycle approaches. Lovely. And I find this funny because when I did my video the other day, I said the full moon this week was the full moon in Capricorn, which it's not. It was the full moon in Sagittarius. But this one is the full moon in Capricorn. So I just find that funny. I was a little ahead of myself a few days ago. So full moon in Capricorn, the end of a tough cycle approaches. I think we're going to get dumped down here. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may come up. Or work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you're wondering if you should... I am literally tripping over my words. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be called to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. So again, see, this is how energy works. They all align together. It's all coming back to self-love. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. It's time to stop fearing the worst. Admit if you've been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Yeah, it's a great message. So then, okay, North Node. Great message. And before I forget to say, make sure you drink lots of water today. Ooh, this is so good. Yeah, so good. There's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow, because you're headed in the right direction. If you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards the thing that scares you, obviously within reason. This card is about living your life purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction to take action. So, are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? So attuned to the moon, I know I'm headed in the right direction. Some additional meanings, you're headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face a fear and get over it. Time to stop obsessing about something or someone. Stand on your own 2 feet, and you've got this. You've totally got this. Just remember, whatever we're going through, I know it's hard in the moment. I know it's hard in the moment, because trust me, I have been there. Trust me. And we all have a different journey, right? There's something that you can learn in every single moment. Every single moment. I was thinking last night back to, first of all, when I met my husband, which I had, it was not obviously planned. But I put it out to the universe that I wanted to meet someone that not only loved me, but my family as well, and vice versa. Unfortunately, I was in a shitty relationship and that wasn't happening, and so I know that's what, and I was still in that relationship when I was like, I want to be loved, I want to be respected, I want to be treated right, I want to have fun with this person, I don't want to be used, I don't want to be manipulated, I don't want to be none of that, that's not a balanced relationship in any way. So I was thinking of that last night, about how I literally put it out to the universe. And I went to a race with my father and brother and a few friends and met my husband. Literally hours from here. Hours. And turns out he lived not even an hour from me. Obviously, we're 20, however many years later? 22 years? 21? We're 21 years later. 21 years later. Here we are. So the other thing I thought of, I was kind of writing down, like, the more you think about what you have manifested and what you have in your life that you're grateful for, the universe wants to give you more and wants to keep giving you more. So the other thing I thought of is when we were going through our infertility journey, the month I got pregnant, I had went, because I was doing cycle monitoring for a bunch of months, and literally that month I went, and the ultrasound looked the same as the previous months, and I remember coming home and saying to my husband, fuck it. I am not charting, I'm not taking my temperature, I'm not paying attention to anything this month, nothing. I am just going to live our life, and it was December, so, Christmas is coming, blah, 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 like we had lots going on. January I found out I was pregnant. And I'm not saying that, just because I forgot about it, that's why it happened. But I literally put it out to the universe. I'm not doing this right now. If it happens, it happens. Awesome. It's meant to happen. And thankfully it did. And then with our daughter, I cried to my husband so many times. I can't go through this again. I cannot go through this again. And when our son was 9 months old, I hadn't had a cycle in 3 months. 2 months. I hadn't had a cycle. 2 months. Had went to the doctor, and he did, of course, did a pregnancy test, and he said to me, let's wait. I was so mad. All I wanted him to do was give me the drugs to get my cycle started. That was my mindset back then. I was a very pharmaceutical based person at that moment. Just give me the drugs to get pregnant, just give me the drugs to get my cycle started. And I am so grateful he said no, let's wait. Because I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which means I could go for months not having a cycle. Now granted, that was many, many pounds more back then. I have since shed in a healthy way, 75 pounds, and I have kept it off. But I said to my husband, I can't go through this again. So after 2 months of no cycle, went to the doctor and tells me to wait. Pissed off. Beyond pissed off. Because my body's fucked up, and I had a new baby, and my body was still fucked up from having a baby. So I go back the next month. I still don't have a cycle. What the fuck's going on? Get things moving. Of course, he does another pregnancy test and calls me the next day and says, you're pregnant. Which I'm like, how? What? We could not get pregnant on our own at all. Now, granted, after I had my son, I did lose a significant amount of weight, which was great. And my body naturally knew what to do. So those are 3 of my best manifestations. Literally by just shifting your mindset. Literally. The other one, I could talk about a couple of our first house. Is the other thing that came to mind. We had an offer in another place and lost it, and I was absolutely devastated. Well, the place that we found, our first house, was 10 times better. Where we live now, I got very specific. So our second house, we moved into when I was very pregnant with our daughter. And that house was totally bought in panic mode. Because, holy fuck, I now have a 10-month-old And oh my God, in less than 9 months, we're going to have another baby. So they're literally, if she came on her due date, they would have been literally 18 months apart to the day. She came early. So they're under 18 months apart. Wouldn't change anything for the world. I love them both to pieces. It worked out amazing. But yes, like I said, our second house was a panic buy. We needed more space, and we probably could have been okay, but I was in panic mode. So when we were looking for our next house, we wanted a bit more space outside. I didn't want a 2-story anymore. Although we had great space in the house, I was not keen on that. So I literally, got extremely specific. I had spreadsheets. I got extremely specific at what I know now. I was literally manifesting. So I literally got spreadsheets and I put in, these are our desires. These are our must-haves. And so just for example, I wanted an island. Our last house did not have a big enough kitchen. I definitely wanted an island. We definitely wanted to be on the edge of town with gas. Wanted space to have a nice big backyard. Wanted space for my husband to build a shop. What else? Oh, a master suite with an ensuite. Those are our major. Oh, a house garage. We wanted an attached garage for sure. Literally put it all out. And our agent didn't even pull this property to show us. We found it. And because he didn't think it would suit what we wanted. It's a 1/2 acre property. It's fucking perfect. It is just, every day and year that passes, it's just even more perfect for us. I love it. I absolutely love it. And it fit all of our boxes. Everything. So it just goes to show, step out of your comfort zone and figure out what your true desires and destiny is. And then magic will happen. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome day.